hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
That's a power-packed 20 overs at home by the Super Kings with bat. In spite of them losing the toss and being put in, they've amassed the second 200-plus score batting first in this tournament. Everyone cashed in and had some fun, almost everyone. Shivam Dube carries on from last season, and we saw a glimpse of what Samir Rizvi can do in the IPL. That is a serious start for the Uttar Pradesh batter to hit Rashid Khan for 6 first ball. 206 we look back on and try and make sense of with Tom Moody, Mitchell McClenaghan and Irfan Pathan on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. What were our first inning score predictions again, everyone? Could we just refresh my memory?
Why don't you start, mate?
No,
Why don't you start?
I'm not bright.
What were you, 210, were you?
I went by my friend Irfan Pathan saying, very good pitcher, very good. It's a very good, 220, 230 something. I just said 210. That man there said 160. Just letting everyone know.
161.
Okay. I'm so sorry, 161. They're only 56 short. Okay, let's make sense of that. 206. Significant advantage, CSK, Irfan?
Yeah, it's an advantage for sure. Putting runs on the board, it always is. Certainly, you will see two guys coming in, bowling really well, getting international experience in with CSK coming in, Pathirana and Mustafizur.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy for Gujarat Titans, but it's a good pitch. It's a wonderful pitch. As I said earlier as well before the toss, as soon as they change, as soon as they got
Pathirana in, yes.
Pathirana in
Tikshana.
and Tikshana out, that means this is not a typical Chennai pitch. This is not a slow pitch. It's a good batting track. I should have gone for more than 200. I was in 190, but still high scoring game. And so, yeah, it will be a high scoring game from Gujarat Titans as well. If Shubman Gill gets going, and Gujarat Titans has a habit of actually making new heroes. Sai Sudarshan will be key as well because he played a lot of cricket on this pitch. So he'll be the key, how he actually plays the long inning and all the players around him plays a supporting role or maybe aggressive role. So it will be a good game, but CSK is certainly ahead of this.
Well, it's one thing to know it's going to be a good pitch, but your batters then need to take advantage. Describe that batting innings. Was it the impetus of Shivam Dube that stands out for you at the top, or was that just almost an easy 200 plus looking at the conditions?
I'll take it right back to the beginning. I thought Rachin's intent at the beginning was really the most important part of that innings because he got 46 off 20 balls.
Yes.
And that is second IPL game. And with sort of the expectation of what he can do, he's hit the ground running. So I really felt he set the tone for the innings. Dube was going to do what Dube does, and he has done that since he's got a yellow shirt on his back. He's gone out there and he has just got the backing and the confidence of everyone around him, and he plays his power game, and he identifies the right matchup. Spin, you can't bowl to him at the moment because he's just getting down the wicket and just popping it either straight down the ground or over mid-wicket. So, to me, there was a foundation set before Dube then did his thing, which was very good.
Yeah. Young international batters aren't supposed to do well in the IPL instantly. At least that's what the league has taught us.
Yep.
Why is Rachin Ravindra different?
Oh, look, I think first and foremost the World Cup was significant, getting confidence in these conditions. But tactically, both of the sides that have bowled to Rachin Ravindra so far have got it completely wrong. They've gone with a fine leg to start or a backward square and bowled straight at him, right into his zone that he likes. If you look up and watch 6 balls of Rachin Ravindra play, he is a leg side dominant player. And if you're always going to bring the ball back into him with only one guy out on the leg side, you're asking for trouble. He picks up length extremely well, pops you over mid-wicket if you're short, if you're full, he picks you up off his legs. So for mine, to see both teams, RCB and now Gujarat Titans, not have 2 guys out on the leg side if you want to bowl straight for the right-handers who swing the ball in as your starting field, for me I think is just crazy. But otherwise, if you want to bring the outside edge into play, you had Spencer Johnson, and we saw throughout the World Cup that he does have a tendency to push away early with the ball swinging away from him from a left-hander. That would have been your best matchup to try and get him out early. And so I just think the other teams have probably underestimated Rachin Ravindra and not given the time to scouting them as much as you probably should leading into such a significant tournament.
Can I add? I think playing a lot of cricket in India does help. and he has played a lot of cricket on different pitches, different cities. So before even playing for New Zealand, so that helps. That experience helps. Other thing is, we are talking about how Virat Kohli's wrist is so magical. I think going forward in next 5-10 years, if he has that kind of career, long career, we'll talk about his wrist as well. He has got amazing wrist work. Anything on his pads, he's outstanding. He's a serious boundary hitter. Even look at today, 46 runs. Out of those 46 runs, 42 runs are from boundary, 6 or 4. 6 boundaries and 3
element of Yuvraj.
Outstanding. Like, he just looks so wonderful. Going forward, what Mitch said is right. Going forward, people will actually ask him to play drive a lot more, and you can have one extra cover either on the point side or between cover and mid-off. You can have one fielder extra there and let him drive there, and you'll see that a lot of edges will come in.
I can't help but think, beyond the technical gift that he possesses, certainly, there's a personality thing in play here as well, because a number of international players who score runs all over the world in 2020 come to the IPL, and either the paraphernalia surrounding it, the PR, the stage at the Chepauk, it gets to something about this kid, if I can call him a kid, and it just seems like he's made for this. It's different from, I mean no disrespect, but it's different from, say, when Darcy Short was picked up of BBL, when Richard Levy came to the IPL. Something about Rachin Ravindra seems like he's made for the IPL, even if his T20 record before this is nothing to take note of.
You know, I think that there's a number of things that make very good players, and then you've got the great players and the legends. You know, he's in the very good player category at the moment. And one of them is the natural skill, you know, their technical skill and their physical attributes. And the most important thing, with the higher you go up in the pyramid of the game that you play, and the IPL is the highest point of T20 cricket, is your mental capacity. You know, your mental toughness, your resilience, and how you can sort of block out the noise. And he wouldn't have seen anything like what he's seen over the last 10 days since he arrived in Chennai, with all the sort of buzz around MS Dhoni and this franchise that's got such a rich history of success. You know, he'd be blown away, but it seems like it's like water off a duck's back. And he's just going out there, see ball, hit ball, he's in the zone, and that's what the great players do. You know, you don't reach the great heights of, you know, some of the, you know, the current and some of the past players without having that mental resilience and toughness.
Just tag on to that just quickly. It comes down to, I guess, what New Zealand cricket's tried to build over the last 8 years or so, in terms of trying to not ride that emotional wave. You're trying to say even keel if you're winning or you're losing, and coming into an environment where that is your culture. The stuff that Kane Williamson's put in place, you've worked with Kane. He likes to keep things pretty emotionally level. That would definitely help. And then back home, in Wellington, he would have played a lot with Devon Conway, trained with him, and he's got the same type of mental ability to be able to not be overawed by these big situations. And I'd imagine that he's quite a mentor to Rachin. And we saw Devon last year, first time in IPL, came out and did exactly what Rachin's doing. Yeah.
Would you welcome the New Zealand cricket opening an office or a branch in Chennai?
I think they already have. They already have with Flem, haven't they?
I think they've moved their office there.
Okay, in all seriousness, let's talk about the bowling. It's a good bowling attack. We showed you the numbers pre-match. Mohit Sharma, Rashid Khan, even in the absence of Mohammad Shami, they've managed to keep things tight. What changed today? We spoke of the Rashid Khan effect against Ruturaj Gaikwad. Ooh, that drop. He was celebrating that drop. It picked him.
And that's exactly what happened. So if that catch would have been taken, suddenly the new batter coming in on this flat pitch, he would have had some sort of doubt. Okay, ball is swinging. There's something happening on the pitch, even though nothing is happening. So that's why, you know, suddenly after that, the batting started actually flourish. And that catch would actually cost them the game as well in the end.
Yeah, quite possibly could have had an effect on Rachin as well, because Gaikwad did cash in. Though, I mean, you were talking to Krishnamachari Srikanth a little while back, who was just giving his opinion on how Rashid never does well against CSK. Is that a thing?
No, I don't think it's a thing. Before we get on to Rashid, I just want to make the point around the new ball.
Please.
And I, for the life of me, can't understand why Spencer Johnson's not taking the new ball.
Yeah.
he is a specialist threat with the new ball, and you're looking to take wickets, and
Let's try and understand it. You have Umesh Yadav, who we know has his best returns in the first power play. They've given Omar Zai the ball. So if Spencer Johnson bowls there, then who bowls with Mohit Sharma towards the end? They bowl Rashid Khan the 19th, so maybe that's a role he plays.
Omar Zai's bowled death for Afghanistan as well. He can do that type of role. He bowls good Yorkers, has the odd change-up.
So I wouldn't be worrying so much about the death. I'll be worrying about taking wickets in the power play.
That's fair.
That's the priority. Spencer Johnson, can bowl an over at the death. You don't want two of his overs at the death. And you need to share those responsibilities, particularly when you don't have a real standout option, like Chennai Super Kings do tonight, for instance, with Mustafa Zur and Patarama.
Like the Titans have had with Shami.
And we're also got to remember that the experience of Shami's not there.
The other thing as well.
Go on.
Other thing as well, if Umesh Yadav doesn't bowl with the new ball, what can he give you? If Umesh Yadav can't swing the ball, and because he doesn't have a great Yorker, he got the wicket in the last over against Gujarat Titans, but not with the Yorker.
Yes.
So he used the pitch. And if you look at the history of his career as well in the IPL, he was actually very successful with the new ball. So I understand what Tom is saying.
But if you play Umesh, you have to bowl him there.
Yeah, so that's a difficult situation Gujarat Titans are in. Ideally, I would any day would prefer left armour bowling with the new ball. Any day. Yeah. But here the situation is whatever the sources you have and who can actually perform that better. And if Spencer can come in and do the job, the tougher job, this is why they spend so much money. Yeah. And I think that's what they think, okay, let him do the tough job. Yeah. I totally agree with Tom, but I have a slightly different view on that.
But the thing is, they can use all three of them in the power play. And then we've seen 2 games in a row now. Johnson hasn't bowled to about the 10th over. No. So all I'm saying is that, get the Umesh Yadav where he's best suited, but you've got to somehow get at least one over of Johnson in early when the ball's hard, new, and potentially swinging.
Yeah, well, the last 2 games, like Rowett is a very good matchup for Spencer Johnson. We've seen Shaheen Afridi be so successful against him at the top of the order. Ishan Kishan as well would have been a good matchup, and today you had Rachin Ravindra. So both times they've set, literally looks like they've just got one blueprint. Yeah. These guys are bowling these overs no matter what. And that's what it is, instead of actually looking at the opposition.
I mean, he's a young captain. Now, whether he's following a blueprint or just going on his own, Shubman Gill, but in 4 overs, they're 41 without loss. That's when you could make the change. The 5th over went to Omar Zai again, his 3rd, which went for 17, and then CSK on the charts. Maybe it's that 5th over.
This is the over talking about.
Yeah, that's one over you can just get Spencer in, if especially there's no wicket. Okay, fair enough. Very quickly, out come the Gujarat Titans, and we do not take them lightly. Sai Sudarshan knows the Chepauk better than most of the CSK players, you'd think. He certainly spent more time batting in the centre of this wicket, and with an average of 85.3 since 2023 in the middle overs of the IPL, it's fair to say he very much holds the key. Player of the match adjudicated in the opening game. And is there a blueprint to chasing this down? A big score and a strong CSK bowling lineup, or do you just go bang now? You've got to get 200 plus. You go bang. We just got one ball to see also there. How do you see them going?
Look, ideally you want to have a good start in power play, but make sure when you're actually chasing a big target, you always think you want to have 55 plus or 60 runs in power play. By doing that, if you lose wicket, you'll be in trouble because this pitch is not going to get slowed down. It's a good pitch. It will stay good pitch. So maybe with the new ball, especially with Deepak Chahar's threat with the swing, keep wickets in hand, play normal cricket, see as it comes. Because you'll get proper 20 overs, good batting pitch.
How does the inclusion of Patirana, who has been impacted on now, affect how Gaikwad can use Mustafizur and the rest of his bowlers? Because we've seen how they like to use Patirana, Mitch.
I think they'll probably use Mustafizur similar to they did the other day. You'll get a couple up front and probably one in the middle, one at the end. It just means that Patirana bowls 2 out of the last 3 overs, which is a nice luxury to have. It's not a luxury many teams have now. So he's a huge inclusion. And from a Gujarat Titans point of view, it just means you have to be aware that it might be harder to score towards the back end. So if you get a good matchup in the middle, that you need to look at taking that on.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the impact Patirana had as the death. He was their standout bowler at the death. I saw him a bit during the recent bilateral series, though. It can go either way, and it's his first game as well. You'd be telling the Titans that, wouldn't you?
Well, that was the point I was going to make, is that he's coming back from injury. He has had a couple of expensive spells just recently before he was injured. My message would be pretty clear. You want to be around 80 to 85 in the first 10 overs. Make sure you have wickets in hand, like I've mentioned, because the back 10, if you've got set players in, that surface is only going to get better. Maybe a little bit of dew, the ball's going to skid on. You back yourself to chase down the runs as long as you've got that foundation.
Right. Quick yes or no. We saw Umar Sai bat at 4 and not Vijay Shankar. Would you stick with that?
I'd say no. I wouldn't stick with
But
that. I'd want his power in those last 10 overs I was referring to.
Umar Sai to be held back a bit.
But they're going to. They're going to do exactly the same blueprint.
But what would
I
you
wonder
do?
if that's the best way to use Vijay Shankar if he's playing.
You're asking me.
Yeah, bowling coach, tell me.
Does anyone ever ask the bowling coach for the batting order?
I agree with you. I
What
think
are you thinking?
I would get Vijay Shankar into the game. I think he's
There you
wasted
go.
down the end. Yeah,
We squeezed it out of him.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't care about the game. I generally want to know, do they ever ask the bowling coach anything to do with the batting order? Or do they just like...
You know what? Should actually ask the
Well,
bowling
it
coach how to
depends
get
on
your
the-
own batters out.
If a bowling coach can bat, they'll ask.
He can.
And it
He's
also
batted
de-
3 for Mumbai.
It depends on the bowling coach as well, who it is.
Would you ask me, Tom?
Definitely.
Oh, great. Oh, that's a compliment.
I think he said definitely before he even heard the
No, in all
question.
seriousness, I think it's really important in that situation to get a few different views. And, just because they're bowling coach doesn't mean they don't have an opinion and a good insight on something else that's not their skill.
Did you have a variety of views when you were at the Sunrise?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it too many views or was just enough?
We'll leave it at that.
Prediction, behave, all of you. Prediction from Irfan Pathan.
Yeah.
We normally go for an outrageous prediction here and see who gets it right. So you could say, give an outrageous prediction. Some batter or some bowler to do this and team to win by this much.
CSK winning in the last overs.
Last over. Okay, so it's a close
Close
win.
game,
Okay. Tom.
Shubman Gill to hit a 6 off his first ball.
Oh, like that.
Oh, that's a good one. I wonder if that's going to happen, Tom.
And you talking about today's game or throughout the IPL?
No, I'm just saying today.
The one that you already saw, he's talking about that.
Oh, have they started?
Oh, yeah. Good one.
No, I'll give you another one. Shubman Gill will get at least 65.
Come on, I thought you'd say 100. Okay.
No, I've been saying 100. It hasn't worked.
I think David Miller will hit 36 off 13 balls and get them across the line with 2 balls to spare.
Ooh, we got someone backing the Titans. Fascinating. But Irfan says CSK close win. Mitch says
Titans.
GT heist. And Tom Moody says CSK as well.
CSK, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Pick up the conversation at the end of the game. Only one team remains unbeaten. So we find out who that is on Maruti Suzuki Arena Presents ESPN Cricket Info Timeout. And we review that with Tom Moody, Irfan Pathan and Mitchell McClenaghan. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. And it'll have you covered with everything that's happening in the fastest way possible. Even before Tom Moody saw that 6 and said that Shubman will hit it, it was on the ESPN Cricket Info app. We'll see you at the end.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.